Hi guys, it's Steffi from the Novelty Corner. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to the book tour for The Year the Maps Changed by Danielle Binks. This book tour is being hosted by Ausway bloggers for Databook, Hachette Australia and Hachette New Zealand. This is a middle grade / early YA Australian story, contemporary story, and it is wonderful. It was released on the 28th of April. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. I don't normally read the synopsises of books, but I figure being a book tour I will, because it probably summarizes it a lot better than I can, but I do have some talking points about it to share with you in a minute because I thoroughly enjoyed this reading experience. Sorrento, Victoria, 1999. Fred's family is a mess. Her mother died when she was 6 and she's been raised by her pop and adoptive father Luca ever since. But now Pop's had to go away and Luca's girlfriend Anika and her son have moved in. More and more it feels like a land grab for family and Fred is the one being left off the map. Even as things feel like they're spinning out of control for Fred, a crisis from the other side of the world comes crashing in. When a group of Kosovar-Albanian refugees are brought to a government safe haven not far from Sorrento, their fate becomes intertwined with the lives of Fred and her family in ways that no one could have expected. Straight up, any story that is set in Victoria, which is my home state, automatically draws me in, and this one was set in 1999. I was about Fred's age in 1999, so she starts out this story at 11 years old. That's just transported me straight back to when I was that age. While I probably didn't pay as much attention to world events as Fred did, I was very aware of them as well. And that whole thing created an instant connection. But even if you were not that age living in the same place as Fred, I think Danielle Binks does such a great job of setting time and place within her story. And the whole thing is done through the lens of maps because Fred is very interested in geography and maps and how maps tell the story of people and places throughout time. And this is all guided by her teacher, which I'll start off, this is one of my favorite things in the book, is there is a very strong teacher presence in the book. Fred's teacher, Mr. Curry, is someone that she likes, she admires and she respects. He is a really great role model in the story as well. And so often in kids' books, we don't always get teacher characters who are role models. And being a teacher myself, that's probably one of the things I look for is, you know, do we have teachers who are being portrayed in books the way that the majority of the profession is? To have a strong teacher character in the book who is passionate about teaching and about educating kids and who treats his students as though they are people who have valid questions, that is so important, and that really shone through in this book. Fred herself, or Winifred, is an 11-year-old girl. She is a very likable main character. She doesn't always do the right thing, but she always tries to do the right thing, and her heart is always in the right place. And she's dealing with a lot. She is living in a blended family situation where she is not living with either of her biological parents. Her mother married Luca when she was 3, and then her mother passed away when Fred was 6, and Luca had adopted her and has raised her as his daughter ever since. His girlfriend Anika moves in with them with their son Sam. Sam is only a year younger than Fred, and she doesn't really know how to deal with it because for the longest time it's just been her and Luca. So she doesn't know how to navigate the new family dynamic. And then there is another spanner in the works thrown into it, which I won't spoil, that completely upends all of that as well. And she's left feeling very isolated, as though she doesn't know where her place is in her family anymore. And I think that is a very real situation for a lot of kids. Family is no longer mother, father, children. It is a combination of people in our lives who are important to us. And that's a journey and something that Fred has to learn throughout the story. And it takes her time. And that just felt so real. On top of all of that, there is the parents or the adult figures in Fred's life, just like with Mr. Curry, her teacher, her family parental figures are present in her life. And they're going through real life things that cause them stress and cause them to miss little cues from the kids. But it doesn't mean they're not aware of what is happening with Fred and with Sam in the story. So Anika and Luca are great parental figures, and so often we just see the parents there and they're either unobservant or they're the ones causing the problems for the kids. And in this case, it's really not. And then there is sort of the main thread of the story, which is a preteen watching how the acceptance of refugees unfolds in a small town. And it's not always pretty, and the Australian government does not always do the things that, you know, we, the voting public, would like them to do. And that's a story, that's a conversation for another time. But it can be quite confronting what happened, because even though they did try to support some of the refugees coming out of Kosovo, they did not always do it in what we would consider the most humanitarian way. And Fred sees this and she is concerned by it, and she doesn't understand necessarily why it happens the way that it happens. Her other journey is trying to understand what is happening in this world and how it may forever change her perception of what it means to be compassionate to other people. So I truly loved and appreciated this book. It's definitely one I'll be purchasing for the students in the senior school because I think it is very relevant. It's very easy to read. Danielle Binks has done an amazing job bringing these characters and this place to life, and I'm so grateful to have been part of the blog tour. Thank you to Osway Bloggers, to Hachette and Data Book for sending me a review copy. Definitely pick it up if you get a chance. It is really a fantastic read. I hope that wherever you are in the world, you're having a wonderful day, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye guys.